Sure is.
Hey,
How's it going?
hey, we're back.
Took us a minute,
A little bit.
but we're here.
Yeah.
Car drove real good. I don't know what to do with my hands. Brady's here. Zach's here. We keep bringing Zach back. That's cool. That's all right.
Yeah.
We're gonna.
It's good.
Yeah, Zach is the. Well, I think Zach's the villain in our own story,
That's true.
which is fun.
That would make sense.
This is a weird intro because
Yeah.
I just don't know what to say. But I think the thrill is gone. No, it's not. We're talking about Zach had a very unique idea, and I loved it, and so we're talking about it. We're talking about well, why am I telling you? You can say. Go ahead, tell them what we're talking about today.
So what we're going to talk about with kind of a tribute to being everybody back in school and everything is how movies put out there the format of saving schools. So we're going to analyze kind of how movies use the same format to save schools and that kind of how they all follow the same thing. They just put different characters in there to try to see if it still works. So we're going to kind of tackle that and go through it.
That sounds boring as hell. Go ahead and roll the song.
Movies and chill with Zach and Dill. That'll get my giggle box going.
Movies and chill with Zach and Dill.
Our pets' heads are falling off!
Movies and chill
Great Scott!
with Zach and Dill.
You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight?
Movies and
It seems to run on some form of electricity.
chill.
Well, sorry!
Zach and Dill.
Spartans! Prepare for glory!
The great Oz has spoken.
Movies and chill.
Get to the podcast
Yeah.
now.
That's a good one.
It's the square glass.
I mean, did it not freak you out that he came over and he brought a sword?
Nope.
And he looks like Jeffrey Dahmer.
That more than anything.
Okay. All right.
I figured I didn't have to worry about it.
If they made like a spin-off of the Netflix and it was called Dahmer Goes to the Bahamas, that's what he looks like.
This is my, can't think of the word. What was the word?
The look, if I had to name the look right now, the Dahmers.
Or is it Sir?
Yeah, the Dahmers.
what
Because
is
he's
it?
in the Bahamas
Alter
and it's
ego.
Dahmer. Yeah, maybe.
It's his alter ego.
His id?
Yeah, his alter ego.
Yeah.
This is what he really wants.
This is
Yeah.
Brady. Brady's
Yeah.
here. He brought a Zelda sword, so that's cool. He can stay. Yeah, that's straight from the Legend of Zelda. It's actually real.
Yeah,
The
so
whole
good luck
movie.
playing a game. It won't be there.
That
Yeah,
is
it's not there in the
Master
forest.
Sword.
He went in the forest and got it, and it's here now. So
I had 20 hearts. So.
that's going to give us at least 5 likes. So apparently, there's a lot of movies that use the same tired cliche
Mhm.
about schools, and I've got a lot of things that I wrote about just random stuff, and I don't even care if I get to it. But let's start with your premise and see where it goes.
Okay.
So your premise, this was off camera, off screen. We do our talking and discussing, and this was your baby. You wanted to do this episode.
It was really funny though because it was just like the revelation of like
Yeah.
the loosely connection between like how you're teaching versus what's going on in movies.
Yeah, you made it about me somehow, which I wasn't
Don't
thrilled
save
about.
schools in case you want to know. That's just how it is.
It's his job.
Just his job. He does that.
I saved schools so well that after 2 years, they decided I shouldn't be at that school, so they moved
It's
me
too
to a
good.
different. I
You're
was
too
too
good.
good at what I
They
was
didn't want
doing.
that. It's too good.
Yeah, they're like we couldn't possibly not have him in a second building, so let's move him to another place. I don't know,
That's just how it works.
but yeah, I'm saving another school now.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
So basically, on this premise, the where I'm going to start out at is like there's plenty of movies that if anybody looks into it that I'm not going to say because I haven't seen them. So my first experience with this type of format was Lean on Me with Morgan Freeman.
Was this like the inspiration for the podcast? Because you said it was the first one you saw, but was it
No,
the
the
movie that made you go, "This needs to be talked about"? What movie?
Not at all. It's just the idea of I've always had actually the idea that's why it's stuck in my head is because it's a Bill Burr joke.
Okay,
But
expand.
he talks about.
I want to hear this.
Yeah, he talks about the whole idea of like the racial equality type thing, where it's like the swimmers and whatever.
Yeah.
He goes, I've not. He said that I've never met anybody who goes down and saves schools. It's like I've never seen one. You think with all the stuff that people, movies and stuff, you would meet one, but I've never met one.
I can hear him saying,
Yeah,
I've never done that.
Yeah.
I've never done that.
So that's been in my head. And then when I was, you're telling me about you and what you do and everything. And
I save schools.
And that was like, and then all this just flooded my head because I've seen all these type of movies, and it is a funny thing when you start to think about how many of these movies follow the basic format.
Yeah.
And the reason like I said, Lean on Me was like the first one I saw like that, but at the time, obviously I'm not thinking about how similar it is because it's the first one I saw.
Yeah.
But it's actually a really good one. And it's really funny because you almost think everybody's trying to recreate that same movie, but just in their own way. And it's just to a way, if you compare it, it's kind of horrible, but it's like, they keep doing it. And it's like, okay, we have a character or a single person that basically is either something's going wrong or they want something different or change, whatever. But a lot of times it's ended up there's something goofy going on in their background and they're trying to better, or whether it's better themselves for themselves or selfish or whatever the case may be.
Or they're like just new to teaching and like this is their first
something like that. But whatever it is, they end up getting this, whatever this thing is when it comes in the school. So whether it's a whole school they have to help, which is like Lean on Me, or it's a class or a particular thing where the whole idea is to take these basically what they consider the lower end of the education pool and make them better somehow.
Okay. That was a lot.
Or save the school.
Yeah,
literally save the school.
So you have like a lot of criteria.
Yeah. Well, no, but but like you said, the format's still the same.
Yeah.
You still have
I got
this guy, this premise like that.
And why don't you explain it again? Because that would be cool if you took time to say that again.
Person comes in, changes something.
He's doing it.
Everybody's better.
He learned.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay. So what you're saying in a roundabout way is I should meet Bill Burr. Because
he can say, "Hey,
I've met
somebody who
who saves schools." Because these movies, let's be honest, they're not about me, but they're about people like me who save schools
full time.
Full time. Yeah, 40 hours a week doesn't do it though. I put in at least 42. And that's hard because, you got other things going on. And I think this is off topic completely.
There's another thing. The reason it kind of relates is because you're going into an urban school versus like you're originally coming from a white school.
You would talk about that.
The reason I do that
what
is
a racist jerk.
I do that because after
you said urban.
Well, I know
that's
the
enough.
Best way to put it. What would you call it?
Inner city.
Inner city?
Yeah.
Okay, inner city.
Urban's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. Inner city.
It means
inner city.
It means the same thing.
But so
I'm just kidding.
And one of the reasons why it kind of ties in with you because like when they do Lean on Me, from there it's almost like they're trying to do the same format, but they're saying, you know what? Let's send white people in there and see what they can do. And
the movies are
like that. And that's what I'm saying. And they try to that's what they're doing. This person has this background and going there. So it's kind of
Mr. Smith, you're all right.
Yeah. Exactly. That is exactly it. And then Bill Burr talks about that, like some of the jokes he does like that. So I'm not trying to rip him off. I'm just saying there is.
No, actually, you're giving Bill Burr credit.
Yeah,
that's not.
So if you get a chance to hear him talk about that, it's really funny. but they do that. Now there is other movies that are similar to that, but they're not exactly the same way like that. But it's just funny. Like at first, when you start to see them, you see, it's always in this case, right? It starts out as I don't know if that came first. Well, it's either a white lady going in, and she's trying to help him out, and she becomes pals with him. Now the other thing is, but if it's a guy, he's in there to actually fight and destroy gangs out of the school.
Did you write all this on this little piece of paper?
No, this is just notes.
Because okay,
Yeah.
all right, go on.
Remember,
Keep going.
I've seen these movies.
No, keep going.
So like when you look into these movies, what makes it funny is like they won't list the action movies, obviously. But the funny thing is they're in there because it's still the same concept. But the funny thing is when you bring a guy into it, especially a white guy into it, it's not going to be. He's trying to teach him. He's trying to get in there and get rid of all the gangs and stuff, and he ends up fighting them and everything like that.
Or like they always have in every movie like that. They always have a scene, and it's like before. It's usually in the second act. It's like the first act is like where he gets placed into the place and he establishes himself. We meet the characters, and then we get to that part where it looks like he might be making some headway.
Uh-huh.
He's making it. He's making it work. And then there's that one scene where his favorite student gets arrested, or something happens.
Or somebody, yeah.
And then or somebody gets there's a fight in class, and then there's a scene where the guy's just like distraught. He's like, I thought I made a difference. I thought I did it. Why
did he turn into Batman?
No, it's not. It's angsty. That's an angsty word.
Rachel.
Yeah.
And that's the way that last part, especially the second act. Second act's all the same when it comes to those. The same, like you said, it makes headway, and then all of a sudden something happens.
Yeah.
And it seems like it's not going to work now.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The distraught.
Yeah.
And then the next day, like he comes in half prepared, and he's like, "Just sit down, whatever." And then somebody comes up to his desk and puts an apple there. and he goes, all right, you do care.
Let's teach.
Let's teach,
Yeah.
baby. Let's teach with Riz. Because they always try to throw in things where the teacher says cool things. Let's Riz. And he says it wrong. He says it wrong. He's just like, let's Riz. And the kids are like, it's okay, Mr. Smith. You don't know it, but you tried. And you're just awesome. You do have Riz.
Oh,
and then, thank you. Yeah, I do have Riz. Let's Riz. And like, no, you're still doing it wrong, but that's okay. Let's keep going. But go on. Keep going.
I think
there was a whole scene in my head.
I know. That was good.
Did that actually happen? No.
That was like Dill's
that
last
school. That might have been an admission by me that actually happened.
That was Dylan's last school.
No.
That's why
I don't teach there anymore.
Yeah.
Because I messed up
You didn't make.
I messed up the words. I messed up the slang terminology.
Uh,
Yeah, and I said somebody had a long back. And I really messed up.
Oh, geez.
That's a thing I hear all the time. Like, oh, you got a big back. That's a thing. I didn't look it up.
I don't even know it.
Look it up. It's a thing.
I
You got a big
I
back.
believe you. I believe you.
I think it means you're tall, but like, don't ask me to make sense of these things. That doesn't make sense. Riz makes sense because it's short for charisma, but like I said, I actually told the kids that one time. I said, you guys know Riz is short for charisma, right? What's that, Mr. Malone? Charisma is, when you have how do I explain charisma to you? Charisma is when you just have that coolness to you that people follow, Oh yeah, W Riz, Mr. Malone. And that's good. You want W. You want W Riz. You don't want L Riz.
No.
Okay?
He can't be quiet.
And I made that mistake. I thought I wanted El Riz. You don't want El
You
Riz.
don't want El Riz.
I thought that meant like likable Riz.
No.
It doesn't. It just means like an L, like you lost.
You're taking the L.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. So
You got no aura.
I was cheering. Yeah, man, nice.
Yeah.
Good job, Dahmer. That was a good comparison. Go on. What else you got?
That's it. We're done.
Let's
Let's go home.
He just went through his whole life. That's it. We're done.
Yeah,
He saved the school.
I did. Truth be told, like people think that inner city schools are just like all like minority.
Yeah.
There's a lot, especially in Fort Wayne. I'm gonna call out Fort Wayne here a little bit. There's actually a lot of like mixed demographics of people.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's white, Hispanic, and black, and then you throw in some Burmese. Like there's a lot of mixture in Fort Wayne of different cultures. And the one thing they all have in common is they're poor as dirt. Like, that's what it is. That's what makes it difficult. No matter what school you choose to go to, as far as teaching, like it's difficult because a lot of those kids have one parent, or if they have two parents, they're both working their tails off trying to keep the job that they have, the low income job. It's just a mess.
Mhm.
You know, I don't want to bog down the comedic podcast with that conversation.
The reason that applies to it, because that's when you look at some of these movies there for a while, that a lot of them came out around, one after another.
Yeah.
And that's all they did is paint that picture, but they didn't really. They kind of pointed it out, but then they just made it like they don't realize like some of those is like, yeah, they did good that then, but like life still goes on and they're still in the same area and they're still poor and there's still a lot going on.
Yeah.
And but like I said, it was just a point out to that. Just like like I said, a lot of the ones that were the more action movies are, every school has a gang in it that's selling drugs.
Yeah.
It's a high school. These are all high schools.
Yeah.
And
I mean, they're going to show like
yeah.
what they're going to show is they're going to show the minorities are like underprivileged and they're the ones that are misunderstood, and they take agency away from like minorities and say like it's not their fault that they're doing this. And truthfully, it's like turned on its head a lot of the times. Like I'll just keep using me as an example because why not? I showed up to like the school that I'm at now, and it's a pretty good combination of demographics. It's white, Latino, black. Like there's a ton of diversity in the school. And I have more black kids coming up to me going, when are we going to move on with, like, we're reading the book Holes right now. Okay. Yeah. Great movie, great book. And in the movie and in the book, like the kids they want to hurry up and get it done. Like there's a bunch of black kids that are like, hey, I'm already past the chapters you asked me to read. Can we like hurry up? And I'm like, no, I got to wait for this kid over here to catch up. And this kid over here is, I'm not kidding, like ripping up paper and eating it. And then like I tell him, hey, white kid, stop eating that paper. And he doesn't have like a problem or anything, like at least not that's diagnosed. He's just doing something ridiculous because I teach middle school, so they're going to do ridiculous things. And I tell him to stop, and he says, but Mr. Malone, I'm standing on business. That's the thing he actually said after eating paper, is that he was standing on business. You can laugh at that. It's funny.
It's understandable.
It's ridiculous. But it's like, that's not at all how you would think it would be portrayed in a movie.
It's the greatest comeback to that ever. I don't even know. I don't know what that means, but it sounds like that should be okay.
Hey, no, you know what I actually said?
What?
I said, listen, you stand on business after you get a broom and clean up the freaking mess you just made on the floor.
There you go.
Then you can stand on
So
business.
you're still a positive thing.
Yeah, like I told him he could have the business. That's fine. He just needs to clean up the paper trail he put on the floor. And I honestly thought that he would just be economic about it and just eat the paper. Like instead of like trying to pick it up with a broom, he's like, oh, there's somebody left on the floor there. 5-second rule. Just start eating paper. This is a true story. I'm not messing with you. This kid was eating paper. And there's no reason for it other than he thought maybe a couple people would look at him and think it was funny.
Okay.
And they did. They laughed.
That was his business, trying to make.
He
people
stood
laugh.
on it.
Yeah.
He stood on it.
I got him.
Like on a soapbox.
Yep.
Which he needed because he's 4'2". Even on his soapbox, I looked down at him and said, "Please get a broom." It was wild. That was a real thing
Why
that
are we
happened.
dogging on a middle schooler right now?
Because he wasn't standing on business.
We haven't even said a single movie yet.
I didn't
He
say
did.
the first one.
We were
Yeah,
talking
oh,
about
yeah,
those.
yeah,
Just
we-
because you've never seen it,
Yeah.
young buck.
I haven't seen
Yeah.
it.
Did you have some more? I want to hear some more.
Oh yeah, I got all kinds of stuff.
I want to hear some that like we can talk about, like the aspects of the movie.
Okay. Well, because then all right, so you go from Lean on Me
Yeah.
to do all that, then you jump through different movies like Dangerous Minds with Michelle Pfeiffer.
I never saw that one.
I maybe saw it once, and I can't remember a whole lot about it other than the premise of it.
Must have been great.
No. Because there's a few like that. There's Freedom Riders is with Hilary Swank.
Okay.
Swank.
Yep.
Okay. And then to go along.
I can't stand Hilary Swank because every other line when she's like trying to look like she's trying to look like confused or she's in deep thought, and it just looks like she's pooping. Like she just makes this face.
Yeah.
And it's pooping. You're clearly okay. Go on. Sorry. Hilary Swank. She sucks.
But in there, I think probably before both of those, you had Dead Poet Society, which is actually not completely not the same format when you talk about the schools, but it is going into a class, same concept, trying to make their lives better and stuff. And there is antagonists and issues and problems.
Yeah,
I think it's a perfect thing of what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like, it fits perfectly. What were you going to say?
No, if it's the formula, because like the teachers coming into the class,
Teachers-
and
The
helping
only
the
difference
kids.
is, like I said, it's not doing the same as other ones where they're trying to actually go into a school and be
Yeah.
like,
It's not a troubled school.
exactly.
No, it's
But,
actually
yeah.
the opposite. Of that.
So part of the movie and some of these other movies here are the same way. It's not necessarily that the school is that bad or anything, but it's still a person coming in trying to better the school.
Well, which is funny because the premise of that movie is flipped on its head.
Yeah.
The professor's coming in to cause chaos.
Mm.
He's like, you're reading poetry,
Mm-hmm.
but you're not living poetry. You're rigid. You're going to be a banker and miserable.
Mm-hmm.
And stop that. You should enjoy poetry. You should go and perform in a play. And that backfires on that kid. But you should like do things and go have fun. But you know what's in that movie that's in every other movie that's on your list? Is always at the end of the movie, there's that moment where the teacher stops and admires the kids and then realizes, I didn't save you. You saved me. And that's what Dead Poet Society is. It gets real cliche at the end.
They all stand on their
And they
desks,
stand on the
right?
desk and they say Carpe Diem and all that. Or no, what do they say? Is that Carpe Diem? Or is that a different movie?
Captain My Captain.
Oh, Captain My Cap. What's the one they say Carpe Diem? No, it's that movie. It's
It's
just
that
not
movie.
what they say on the
It
desk.
Oh,
means-
yeah,
it
I
means
was
a
going to
different
say,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
say
yeah. They
banana
say
on the
seize
desk.
the day, but that's not what they say when they're on the desk. Sorry. That is the same movie. But yeah, anyway. Just like Robin Williams is just like, I'm fired. I don't have a job. I don't have a house. My wife is gone. But you boys saved me. Like it's just it felt a little flat. Like when it happened, like you're supposed to, in the movie theater, you're supposed to just stop caring about Robin Williams' character the moment he walks out the door. And you're like, yeah, they saved him. And then you stop when you're outside in the parking lot and you're like, wait, dude doesn't have a job now. What's he gonna
He's
do?
probably not going to get a teaching
Yeah,
job
like
again, 'cause
they're
one of
not
his-
gonna let him teach
One
anywhere
of his
now.
students killed himself because of his.
Well, yeah,
So
yeah.
not
And
going to help his case.
Well, what he did was after he left that movie, he hops in his car and he goes to Boston, and he jumps into that Matt Damon movie. What was that movie? When he's the janitor.
Goodwill
He
Hunting.
jumps into Goodwill Hunting, and he's literally the same character.
He's a psychiatrist.
And yeah, then he tries to save Will.
so he continues
But-
the same format.
But at the end, Will saved him. Okay, you get it?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's the cliche. It's like how many different Robin Williams characters get saved at the end when he's supposed to be the one saved, like RV. Like the same.
Jumanji.
Did you say Jumanji?
Jumanji.
Is he for real? Are you saying that for real?
What do you want me over?
How do you say? How do you say it? Jumanji.
It's with an A.
What did he say?
Jumanji.
He said Jumanji.
He said Jumanji.
Jumanji?
So it's JAM?
You got the Jumanjis?
It's there's an A in it, so there's Jumanji.
Okay. So then, because I didn't go Jumanji.
No.
And then he heard it
Don't
a different
skirt
way.
this.
Don't
skirt
this. The
this.
first time I said it, he didn't hear it because his hearing
Oh, I didn't say it because I didn't emphasize. No, you said Jumanji. And that's not the name of the freaking movie. It's not Jumanji. You're not getting around this.
That wasn't the thing you said at first either.
This is a clip. We're clipping the out of this. This is going to be clipped because I want to go back and I want you to see in the. Don't roll your eyes. You know you did it. You're just mad that I got you finally. Just like when we get mad.
I'm not denying what I said the second time, but the first time you said Jumanji. Is that what you said? Jumanji? And I didn't do that at all.
He's so mad right now.
I didn't do that at all. I said Jumanji the way I said it, so that would be wrong. But I didn't say it like you said it. Which, by the way, yes, I will clip it. I will clip what you said.
Clip it.
I will
you
clip
said
what,
Jumanji.
And I'll clip what you followed.
I'm losing my voice because you said Jumanji.
That's fine. That's how I always say it. I don't know how I say it.
Jumanji?
Where's Matt right now? Probably planned it. Let's move on.
That's fine.
I was gonna say Genie. He does it there too.
What do you mean? Oh, he does.
Yeah.
He literally gets saved.
He gets saved by Aladdin, even though he's supposed to
like
save
the
Aladdin.
chains come off.
Yeah.
It's a conspiracy theory. Every Robin Williams, he's still pounding. I'll just talk to you. Every Robin Williams movie is him getting saved.
It's suspicious.
Wow. Sus.
I haven't seen it in a very long time. Does it
Mrs.
happen?
Doubtfire's the same way.
Yes! Yes! Mrs. Doubtfire.
Does it happen in Good Morning Vietnam?
Kind of.
Well, how?
Well,
How?
because remember, even though they fired him, he still looks back at the place like I don't know. I guess
Yeah.
It very.
It's not gonna
that
be
one's
foolproof.
one is not foolproof, but
So
it
it's
is
like
kind
the
of
place
similar.
does it?
It's kind of similar because he did like the place because he turned. Before he was just joking about everything, and then he got serious about it.
Hmm.
So in a way, maybe he changed his aspect for the good. I don't know, but it's
Patch Adams.
Yeah.
Oh, he dies in that one.
Hook. It happens in Hook too.
The kids saved him.
The kids
Yeah.
saved
Yeah,
him,
for sure.
even though he was supposed to go there to save the kids.
1,000%.
Oh my god,
This is blowing your mind. It's blowing mine.
This is crazy.
There's so many. There's so many.
That's good.
That's crazy.
Okay, so we said we got Good Will Hunting. We got.
Which was
Did you have that on there?
I did not.
That's a good one.
I know. I didn't think about.
I mean,
that.
it's at a university.
Technically
so, yeah.
the same. He's helping somebody.
And
he's helping one person. But that's exactly the same concept.
But by doing that, he's also helping the university because the professor learns a lot from the Sarsgaard character, right? Yeah. I mean, is that stretching it?
No, because
he saves the school a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Because he gets the really genius kid to care. So.
Yeah.
But on top of that,
it's
the school.
Basically, it's brought down to a smaller aspect. It's not the whole school, but a person, which is still the same thing.
Okay. All right. So, do you got any other notable movies on there?
Well, I was going to say, to kind of like...
Do one more, because we got like 3 minutes.
When you go from Lean On Me, the best follow-up, I think, for that one is when you come all the way to really far away from it, but it's Coach Carter. Because that's more of the same aspect where it's more serious.
I like that movie.
Yeah.
A lot.
And he's doing the same thing, even though it's like he's making the kids become good students, not just be basketball players. And also, there's gangsters in it, so it's you gotta have those in there.
I'll tell you what I like about the movie. It's more authentic than a lot of these movies that we're talking about.
Oh yeah.
And maybe it's just because I'm like literally close to the situation, but like I see this where and I'm going to talk about my own situation.
Go,
Seriously,
go.
Like-
It's what I want to. This is like no. This is great. I want it. It's just funny because it's like I wait. It's just you can do it. That's the funny part. You can turn it around.
you can make this about the racial component, which the movie does, but I'm not going there like with my own experience because it's white, black, and everything in between from what I see. It's the poverty of it. Like what he does with those boys in showing them there's more to life than violence and basketball. Like that doesn't have to be a black only message.
Yeah.
But I love the authenticity of it. Like they don't sugarcoat it. They don't give anybody excuses. They just say this is how life is and you can choose to do something about it or not. Like because his son is an upright citizen and he's got focus on college. Why is that? Because he has a nuclear family. He's got a mother and a father and a direction, and some of those boys in the movie do not, whether they're white, black, like Channing Tatum's in the movie. He's just as lost as some of those other young men.
Yeah.
So it's a very real look at like poverty in a small town and like how basketball is the only escape for some of these kids. But man, I loved how authentic that movie is.
Oh yeah,
So
it's a great movie.
good time to pause. We're gonna refill the drinks and run it back.
And probably the most, I would say, it's probably the most popular school rock when it comes to a comedy.
A comedy, somebody coming in and saving a school.
Yeah,
That goes back to before the break when we were talking about like the school saves him.
yeah,
It's another one of those situations. He's a deadbeat. He's in a band. The band kicks him out. Now he's in a cooler band because it's made of little people. And that band kicks butt because it does old school rock and is basically just Tenacious D, but little people. And that's awesome. Little people with no cussing. That's basically what School of Rock is. It allowed Jack Black to do Tenacious D PG version. That's my take. Hot take.
Some of these other movies. Well, no, one's pretty good. It's called Renaissance Man with Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
You seen that one?
Uh-huh.
Which
I wish I hadn't.
goes into a military class. He gets put into and teaches kids or younger adults. I would assume they're probably out of high school, but right out of high school, and basically teaching them on campus to be better and stuff like that. So same concept he's trying to save. I don't know if they're a platoon, but they're a class.
Yeah. Well, I like that movie for the reason that it like shows Danny DeVito in a somewhat serious light. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
it's
normally
a very out there goofy movie.
But normally when you see Danny DeVito, he's some ridiculous off the wall character. Like obviously Batman Returns, but I'm thinking more like Throw Mama from the Train.
Oh, yeah.
When he's this sad little man who wants to kill his mom.
Yeah.
And he's just I don't know. Like that's
putting him in any movie where like he's the antagonist is hilarious because how small he is.
Yeah, but if you would you even call him the antagonist and Throw Mama from the Train? Like he's just a sad character. He's not.
Yeah.
He's not the bad guy. He's
That's
just
true.
like you feel sorry for him. He's just like, Mama. He's just so weird. Like I don't know. That was in my head when he said. Well, we're talking about Throw Mama from the Train. When he says Mama, it's cringeworthy. Yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
We should run that tape.
Owen loves his mama.
Just throw in Mama.
Just so everybody can hear it. In case
just see how close I really was when I just did that. Because with no context, it just sounds like I have mental issues. It really does. Like, what the heck's wrong with this guy? A lot, to answer your question. Twins is another funny movie with Danny DeVito.
Yeah.
That was all I wanted to say about that. Just he's in Twins.
Well, so going on another comedy I throw in there because technically saving a school accepted.
Yeah, I mean literally creating a
In
school
and then trying to save it.
then they try to save it and they do. But that's not. Is that one character? Is it Justin Long?
Yeah.
Would you call him like the character?
Yeah, because everything. I mean, even though it's his idea and then other people help him, but it's all about him because even at the end, he's the one doing the main speech that saves the day.
That's the one with Jonah Hill where he's like,
Yep.
"Ask me about my wiener,"
exactly.
and he's like dressed in a hot dog costume.
Uh-huh. Like
that
I
movie
said,
was so stupid,
yeah,
but I actually like it a lot.
That's another one.
Do you remember the kid who he just wanted a class to where he wanted a class where he could practice blowing stuff up with his mind.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because remember at the end he does it.
Yeah, at the end he's like
blows up the one Dean's
and
car.
the car blows up, and we're led to believe that this is a serious movie. After that, that's something like they went full Anchorman and just they had a plot, and they were just like, hey, you know what would be funny? What if that kid actually had kinetic powers and blew up this car? And then you were just like, oh, okay, it's a fictional movie now. I don't know. Maybe I'm just nitpicking.
No, they were just all over the place.
It was all over the place. But I like the movie because it like makes you laugh for stupid reasons.
I don't like Jonah Hill.
Okay.
So I put that.
There's a lot there to eat.
You got to wait till I stop drinking before you say something like that.
I don't like Jonah Hill. It's not a huge fan.
I mean,
he looks weird
as a person or as an actor or okay. All right.
What have you seen him in?
I can't think of movies off the top of my head.
Oh,
I've seen him as like side characters.
He's never seen him. He just has a gut feeling about it.
No, I've seen just like pictures of him more than anything, and he just looks weird.
I just don't like his. I don't know. Something about his fat face.
I don't like the cut of his
don't
jib.
like it.
I don't know.
Have you seen him lately? He's not fat.
He's more shredded now.
He is shredded.
Yeah. He just
sorry,
looks,
Jonah. You could murder me. I'm really sorry about what I just said.
He can be shredded. He still just looks weird.
Well, isn't that the point?
I guess.
Half of Hollywood looks weird. If they're not like gorgeous people, Angelina Jolie, Jennifer Aniston, Brad Pitt, George Clooney, if they're not those people, you're in Hollywood because of your weird quirks.
Yeah.
You're either one or the other. You're not one of those weird normal people. Like, we will never be in a movie. Zach might. He's freaking weird looking. But not me. I will never be in a movie. I'm not handsome enough, but I'm not weird looking enough like Zach to just be in a movie. So, I don't know. I'm just putting it out there.
I'm going to be in a movie.
What? Dahmer Returns?
Dahmer 2.
Yeah. The Return of Dahmer. Yum, yum, yum.
Or it's going to... It's gonna be a prequel, actually. It's Dahmer when he's younger.
When he's younger, like how young?
Like 18.
Dahmer, baby food.
I
don't know if I can play
No. He eats baby. He's a teenager.
Oh.
No, he's a teenager,
And
but
then-
he eats babies because he's younger.
Well, you're that. I thought it's him starting out.
Plot
Like
twist.
he keeps messing up because he forgets to kill him first, so he starts to bite people. And, shit.
Yeah. Well, like how old is he? Is he like
I
4?
don't know. Well,
That's funny if he's like 4. He's like, I don't know
I
how.
was 4.
Well, he's still a psycho at 4. It doesn't matter like how old he is.
I feel like it matters a little bit.
Why?
Because, I don't know, he's 4.
No.
He
Why
can't,
4?
he can't kill anybody.
Okay, 5. What's wrong with? I don't get it. What's
Right.
wrong with 4?
Now we're
What's
getting
wrong?
somewhere.
What's wrong with him being like in high school biting people? Would that
Okay,
be more funny?
no, that's okay. If he's in high school, it's not as intriguing. It's not as exciting as if he was a baby. They just-
Babies do bite
Babies
people
bite
though.
people all the
no.
time.
They don't bite people with the intention to murder, though.
How could you
Dahmer
tell?
baby is scary.
You don't know that.
I'm making up a plot. That doesn't matter if it's real.
It'd be like if Chucky was like trying to bite you. Like,
Okay.
he's like a little infant.
Guess what movie made a lot of money?
And he looks goofy.
Okay,
I don't think it should.
doesn't matter.
I don't like Chucky. There you go. I'm saying.
Terrified millions.
But he wasn't a baby. He was a doll.
Still, you get my point. Like he's a little.
No.
I don't know. He's a little infant.
See, now he's not a baby yet, though. 4 or 5. Now you're getting into like, okay, that kid knows what he's doing. That's serious.
I'm not gonna be scared for my life if a 5-year-old bites me.
No, you missed the point. It's a prequel. Like
They don't know what he's gonna do in the future.
no, he's setting himself up. Like he goes on this adventure. He goes on this quest of like, okay, I just bit somebody, but I kind of liked it. I went on this adventure, and now I'm gonna start doing like worse things. I have a cat across the street that I could eat. Like he starts building up towards people.
Okay, high school Dahmer.
He has a flashback when
he's like
5?
starting and he flashes back.
Okay.
5.
Fine.
So we'll compromise there.
I'll compromise. It has to include 5-year-old Dahmer though.
Yeah.
He has to like be a kid, and you're like, oh, that kid's normal.
5-year-old Dahmer eat the cat.
No, that's a good story. There's a story there. We need to mind that.
That's why he's so messed up.
Okay. No.
We should make
In
a
the
trailer of
prequel,
that.
what happens to him? Something happens to Baby Dahmer that makes him want to kill cats and humans and eat them.
I don't know. What would make you
What
want
could
that?
happen?
What?
What could happen?
Like he couldn't catch the bus that day, so
No,
he starts eating cats.
5-year-olds don't care about the buzz. What would happen though that he was like so messed up?
I don't know. What? I've never thought about turning to eat a cat whenever something
He
wrong
has to
happened.
get
to me.
locked into a room or something, like with only a cat, and he has to like eat the cat. That's the only thing he has left is to eat the cat.
His mom only fed him like pickles when he was
Yeah,
little.
something stupid.
And now he
wrong.
hates food and he wants to eat something else.
It's like he thinks the
so he ate
only
a cat.
food out there is
Oh,
pickles.
man. That's what we do. We set up his mom as his first victim.
Yes. But you know what gets even better about that plot is at the end, his only choice is like to eat this human raw, or there's a jar of pickles there. I could add the pickles to the person, and like that's the irony is like he hates pickles, and that's why he eats people. But at the same time,
That's the greatest thing I've ever heard.
but at the same, there's another
the
clip.
way you said
There's
it.
another clip. At the same time, he's like, I hate just eating people without a barbecue. So if I don't have a barbecue, at least I've got this jar of pickles. I could like throw some brine on him and eat the pickle person. Like it's perfect.
I gotta add this pickle to it.
I mean, it'll add a little flavor that wasn't there before. What part of a person are you eating? Just a side question.
Probably the leg.
What part of a person are you eating?
It'd probably like your thigh.
Like a leg?
I feel
It
like-
seems like it'd be the most
I feel like the
delicious
leg
part.
is like the most cannibal portrayed in media.
I don't care about that. I'm on an island. I got to eat something.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't care what CNN
Where
has
did you
to say
get this
about it.
report from all of a sudden?
I'm
They're
not. I'm,
well,
I
didn't do a report.
According to this report from cannibals,
Okay,
they
when I-
put out in this magazine, Cannibal
when I
USA,
said media, I didn't mean like
Yo,
news.
what kind of media are you
I
watching?
meant like films and
You're talking
TV
about it
shows.
in movies and stuff.
I didn't mean like CNN reporting
That's what it
cannibalism.
sounded like you said. It's like
My bad.
Okay, so a leg.
Yeah, usually like you see
Okay,
like they eat
okay,
the leg
okay.
first.
Follow-up question.
I feel like they know more.
If you start to hallucinate about eating me on an island and it's just you and me and I start to look like food, what kind of food do I look like?
A chicken leg
hot dog.
I just turn into a fat chicken leg?
or a steak
Hot dog.
Okay, all right.
from like Madagascar.
Hot dog.
I mean,
Yeah, skinny like that.
okay.
Like that.
I
shape.
thought maybe I'd look like a corn on the cob or something.
Yeah.
But that's okay. Meat.
meat. Yeah,
I'll take
I
that.
would think meat. Not. I
Yeah,
I
you're
would
not a
think it was-
vegetarian.
Yeah,
if
I
you're
would-
going to eat meat, you're not thinking about
You
corn.
can go the Minions route. You turn to a banana.
No, stupid. It's been
Yeah.
done. I don't know. I'm just kidding. That's fine. You can think that too. Where do you go from cannibals? Go ahead.
Oh no,
Try.
that's great. No. Well, here you go.
I know,
Here you go.
I
Here,
know.
wait. Here, I'll ask you this movie.
Okay, go ahead.
This movie, does this follow the format?
Go ahead.
Footloose.
I don't know enough about Footloose. I
Foot-
never saw Footloose.
Okay, Footloose is.
It's Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, Kevin Bacon.
And he dances.
He goes to his new school.
Okay.
They're not allowed to play music, dance, or anything like that.
Yeah,
Right.
why?
So because
they have sticks
people
up their
went
butts.
well, no, because some kids partied and came from a dance and got into a wreck and died.
Ooh.
So now everybody can't do it. So now he's trying to bring it back and save the town. Because here's the thing: he doesn't just make it so they can have a dance and the people accept it. He makes everybody like turn around and realize that's not the issue. Like he saves the town and the school.
I feel like it
Let's
is-
dance.
And we dance.
I feel like that isn't the issue. Is the dancing? I feel like the issue is the partying, right?
We're just like Kevin Bacon. Let's move on. Footloose didn't land.
Yeah, that didn't work at
That
all.
didn't land. Let's edit that.
Yeah.
What else you got?
Oh, my bad.
It was horrible. Let's see, on the comedy end, you got anything to add to the comedy end of it?
Oh, I don't know.
See what you have.
I don't know. This is your thing, man.
Well, you can.
I got one for you.
Okay, go ahead.
I got one for you. It technically is a comedy.
Yeah.
But the weird thing about these movies is that like they didn't really know what kind of identity they were going to give these movies.
Oh, gotcha.
Ernest Goes to School.
Yeah, there you go. Isn't it kind of he's? Why? Wait. What's the idea why he's there?
He's a janitor.
Okay.
You remember that stupid laugh he did?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you know? You
Did he
didn't
have
know
to
Ernest
wait?
has-
I've
Did
I've
he
seen
have
him
to
in
save
the-
the school? Because usually, like when he goes to camp, he's saving the camp.
Yeah.
Is he saving
He's
the
not
school?
saving the school, I
Okay.
guess.
I didn't know if he was or
Maybe
not.
I just picked a movie where there's a school.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I
Technically, he
maybe I totally messed this up.
the
Something
concept
gets saved, yes.
would be the camp. He does do that at the camp to save the camp.
Okay. I mean, but he essentially saves the school
I don't know if he's
because the school.
one was good enough. Watch it.
Yeah, I mean, just trust me. Just
Yeah.
watching it with my now 9-year-old, it felt really odd.
Don't show dramatics. He'll just learn from it.
He'll just be Ernest. My 3-year-old will just be Ernest from now on. Anyway, Ernest Goes to School though. He's a moron that can't work at the school anymore. He can't be the janitor because of some bogus made up bylaw at the school where the school has to have a certain IQ level or something for all its faculty. So he can't be a faculty member, which, by the way, janitors aren't faculty anyway. This is a stupid premise. It's a premise like written in crayon. I don't know who came up with this premise, but that's all Ernest movies to begin with. Like the one about Halloween, he has to like stop the boogers from growing too big, and like that's a real loose interpretation of Ernest Saves Halloween or whatever the heck that movie was.
I don't remember.
Then he saves Christmas at some point where he has to like
It was Ernest Scared Straight.
yeah, that's what it was. And there was one where he saves Christmas and meets Santa, and like the Santa they got is like a step below the drunk Santa at the mall. Like it's not. They didn't even try real hard to get a Santa that was convincing. The Santa that they got was like, I don't know, just okay. Think like Home Alone. Think when Kevin goes and talks to the Santa that's headed to his car,
Mm-hmm.
and the dude's got like beer breath, and he's like getting ready to go in his beater car.
Oh yeah.
You remember that scene?
Yeah.
And he's like, he gives him Tic Tacs. He's like, oh, I don't have any actual candy anymore. Here, have some Tic Tacs. Merry Christmas. Like, think that, Santa, and it's way worse than that. Like, you can almost see the dirt on the beard. Like, they had dropped the beard too many times, but nobody bothered to clean it up because it's a freaking Ernest movie, so nobody cares. Like, it was that bad. Like, now I'm thinking like UHF, like as bad as the effects and things are
Yeah.
in UHF, like the whole movie costs like $1,000. It's silly, and they paid most of it to Fran Drescher just for being in the movie for 5 minutes. Then they let Kramer keep the mop at the end of the movie because that's all he wanted. He's a psycho.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was a long rant,
Yeah.
but let's move on. That's another clip.
That was pretty good. Actually,
That's at least 3.
you going through some of that stuff. I thought about another one that's on my list.
All right, go ahead.
Technically, in a weird, like kind of somewhat Mean Girls is kind of like that in a way.
Yeah, but who's the one person that saves the school? Because if you say Lindsay Lohan, I'm going to leave. I don't think it's. How does she
It's
save?
more.
the school?
Yeah, it's true. There is not a. No, it's not really save them, but changes everybody. But that's like you said. That's not necessarily one person.
Like if you say
Yeah.
Lindsay Lohan,
Yeah.
the reason she saves the school is because she sucks less than the other people. That's not really saving. That's like when America cheered for Simone Biles when she like quit.
Oh, okay.
Do you remember?
A little bit.
Are you in with the Olympics?
A little bit, but not really.
That was that weird time when 4 years ago, the last Olympics, she came back and was amazing. By the way, I'm not a Simone Biles hater by any means. She's an incredible athlete. My only problem with that whole issue, don't ask me how we got on this for some reason, but like the whole thing with her was that she had like vertigo
Mm-hmm.
and was having like panic attacks while she was flipping in the air 17 times, like humans aren't supposed to do.
Yeah.
And she's like, I have to step away. I can't be in the Olympics. And people were like, because she left literally before they got the medals. Like she left before they were in the medal round
Uh-huh.
and left her team high and dry.
Yeah.
Now, two things can be true at once. I don't think that's her fault. For herself, she needed to get away from that situation.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make her a hero? No. You don't become a hero for
Is that what the people were saying?
yeah. She's such a hero for quitting. No, you're not a hero for quitting. You did the right thing.
Yeah, it's not like
You needed
it's
to
not
do
bad.
that. No one is going to blame you. And if they do, they're like, this is where the other side of the aisle got really stupid. We're like, oh, she's a terrible, terrible American. She should have killed herself on the mat. No, she shouldn't have. She needs to keep living.
Yeah.
You know, flipping doesn't matter. We're still going to beat Russia. Shut up.
Yeah.
Sit down. Okay. But like, middle of the road. She's not a hero. She's not a villain.
Yeah.
She's just somebody who quit for her own good.
Yeah. Because she didn't want her head to fall.
Yeah. And you can tell that that's been needing to come out of me for a long time.
Yeah.
That irritated me to no end.
Yeah.
Like Simone Biles.
Man, I'm really triggering you on a bunch of
You're
stuff.
triggering
This
me
is
a
a
lot.
good topic. I like it.
But I want to end where I started, kind of like a sandwich here. I want to put the bottom bun on this conversation. Simone Biles is awesome. I don't hate Simone Biles. I think she's an incredible athlete, and she did really good things for America. She medaled. She brought us so much glory. Okay, that one time she quit, that's not why she's a hero. Okay, let's get that straight. She's a hero because she's incredible. She's just a good athlete. All right, let's move on. Hurry up. We were talking about Ernest.
I've had no idea what you've been talking about.
Yeah, that's-
You don't know who Simone Biles is?
Or Ernest.
Yeah,
So I've just been lost.
Gosh, man. You go. Which Ernest movie do we make him watch?
From how you guys are painting it, I don't want to watch any of them.
What's
Dude,
the equivalent?
Honestly, the only one I could watch was the one when he saves the camp. Goes to camp. That's the only one I could
That's
watch.
the one I don't remember.
Yeah, you gotta watch that one. Because the other ones I couldn't watch.
They're
tried.
all terrible.
I don't. But the only one I could watch was that one. I think it's because I was young enough that it didn't bother me, but now it does.
You know what the worst part about those Ernest movies is? Like, obviously, they're all over the place. They don't know what the heck they want the movies to be. They don't know if it's a comedy or a kid drama. Like, they don't know what the freak to make those movies. So they build them as a comedy, but they have these random moments in the movie where he, like, gets sad and, like, walks away.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
He gives up, but then he
like,
comes back
like in
and
the
fights.
school. He gets fired from the school, right?
Uh-huh.
And that's supposed to be like in a humorous movie. It's supposed to be like light and move on, but they decide to like slow down, put a spotlight on him, and have him go, well, I guess I'm not welcome anywhere. And it's like, are we supposed to laugh or what? What do we do?
I know.
Like, I feel bad for Ernest, but let's be honest, this is a crappy movie. So do I feel bad for the crappy actor in the crappy movie?
I don't know.
Can he just keep being Slinky Dog in Toy Story forever? Because I don't like Ernest anymore.
Did you ever watch the show?
He's Slinky Dog in Toy Story.
Cool.
You ever watch the show at all?
Yeah. Golly, Bob, howdy.
All right.
Yeah, Slinky Dog.
Yeah.
Okay.
He used to do it. There is a show that there was a show or a show. And the only thing and reason I remember the show is because the one character was like the bad guy Dracula. and this is like he would come in and he'd be dressed up in the dark, and then his headgear was his hand like this. That's it. That was the creepy, like everything was creepy, and then for some reason there was a hand on his head, and that's yeah.
You
So-
know that Ernest
I'm
got
lost
his
there.
start in commercials. He was
I
he was a
remember.
character in commercials, and I don't even remember what it was for, but it was commercials for a product, and his character was like invasive and annoying, but everybody loved those commercials.
The he was also. Did you ever see the Beverly Hillbillies when he was Uncle Jed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He was Uncle Jed, and
That was
those,
that was a different one to see him in because you're like you're Ernest.
he wasn't being earnest.
Yeah,
though.
exactly.
I love them.
Yeah. No, that was the difference. Is like, but he made a lot of those movies too.
Diedrich Bader's in that movie. He
Mhm.
was Jethro.
Jethro, yep.
There were a bunch of offbeat people in that movie. What the heck's her name? Legendary comedian. What's her name? She was the woman in it. Incredible Shrinking Woman. I can't remember her
I
name.
know Lily Tomlin.
Lily Tomlin was in
Yeah.
that. That was one of my favorite Lily Tomlin appearances in the
And
movie.
then
We're digging deep into the bag.
I have
You
no
don't
clue
know.
what you're talking about.
Like Beverly Hillbillies, the movie
Well, I
came
know
out
what
in
Beverly Hillbillies
in the 1990s somewhere.
that's my favorite thing. This whole time, it's just like
I don't know what to say.
The whole time he's over here going like, well, I guess I could eat that person. He's thinking about the next person he's going to go kill and eat. But, I guess the girl that sits by me in this math class, I could really just bite into.
Dahmer wouldn't go for a girl.
I think I would probably eat his stomach.
We're
I'm
back
sorry,
on
we're
this.
not talking about that
We're
anymore.
back
I'm sorry.
on this.
I just thought maybe a stomach would taste good. But I don't
know, man.
Depends on if it's a fat person, the stomach would probably be delicious.
Oh, okay. So you're talking like the area, not necessarily the stomach itself.
No, not like
Okay.
the internal organ.
Yeah, I was gonna say like there's acid and stuff. It's
Yeah.
pretty
Well, it's
gross.
not even that. You would have to
Some
put stuff.
fatty
It's
area.
only thin wall. You have to stuff something in it.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Okay. All right. Sorry.
Maybe when they're full.
How about the miracle
Yeah,
worker?
let's make him eat first.
How about the miracle worker?
Yeah, what is that one? Is that Helen Keller?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Well,
just wanted to bring it up.
yeah, I know.
There's no reason. to bring
Honestly,
up
it
other
was
than
on.
to make
Every
Helen
time I
Keller
looked
noises.
stuff up, it was on there. But I'm like, we're not going to go anywhere good with this. We're not going to go anywhere good with this.
No, Zach, listen. The miracle worker. Let's talk about Helen Keller, Zach.
Technically, yes. It's like I don't even. No, it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
No, she totally saves the school. And then
That's such a crazy.
she
ass
has a
movie.
moment of triumph
Mhm.
at the end of the movie where she goes, "Ugh." Okay.
In all wait. In all reality,
All right, I'm done.
the way the
I'm
teacher
done.
gets her to start talking is basically waterboards her to say water. It's really exactly how she gets her to start saying water.
Roll credits.
There it is.
Greatest movie of all time.
And I'm not joking. It's exactly how she keeps dunking her in to get her to finally say. And she's like, well, I'm not gonna do it.
How dare you, Zach? Low
Water.
Low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
That's not funny. How dare you talk about Helen Keller? Let's move on. How about
Oh.
Finding Forrester?
Yeah. That was one. If I left
How-
them, I haven't seen that one.
How did they get grumpy, crotchety Sean Connery to do this movie? How? When he's sitting there in his decrepit old apartment, he's a retired writer,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, looking out his window, and he sees he's in like a downtown area in a big city, and there's a bunch of black kids playing basketball, and he's like, "That's the kid I'm going to teach how to read. That's the one." That's what the movie's about.
Did he do that though? That'd be funny.
Pretty much.
Okay. I haven't seen it. That's why I couldn't
Pretty
bring it up.
much. Like
if
the
I
kid
didn't know
ends
anything
up.
about it, I couldn't bring it in. That's why I said if there's probably ones that you've seen that I didn't put on the list because I can't talk about it. I don't know anything about it.
Guess what happens at the end? You'll never guess what
He
happens.
saves the school.
No.
Oh.
No. The kid saves Sean Connery.
Why? Because he fell and broke his hip or what?
No, he's like, I found the love of writing again, and I'm going to write a new book, probably about inner city children playing basketball. That's it.
Mm.
That's pretty much it.
And then that's when he created Professor Snape.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Is that why? Do I sound more like Snape?
You were going into it.
I don't know how to do like a sustained
Well, no, you're fine.
Sean Connery.
I understand who you were doing, but it was just funny because you were slowly turning it into.
He only does short, choppy sentences anyway. Like, where's my martini?
No, it sounded like right there. It sounded good, but as you started talking more and more, it started changing.
Hello, Miss Moneypenny.
So we are tight on time here.
Yeah, but we'll just keep doing Sean Connery until we go out.
Okay. I guess we'll take a break. We'll take a break. Brady's gone. It's just us now. He said he was going to go meet with 2 girls. And that sounds good for like a kid his age, and he's a handsome young lad. But I just want to let everybody know that if those 2 girls end up on a milk carton, you know why. You watched it here.
Yeah, because he did not change. He left his outfit. He's serious.
He still looks like Dahmer.
Yeah. You do notice, like every time we said something about Dahmer, he did not laugh.
No, actually, he licked his lips.
Yeah, it was pretty. I don't know what we do about that, but we'll see.
I mean, call the police.
They're not gonna believe us.
That's what I thought too. But he's gone. We'll carry on.
All right.
What's left to do? Not much. I don't know.
We're just gonna end it out and
end it out.
End it out. End it out.
I don't know what that means.
I don't either. I just said it.
I had some funny things that I thought about though.
Okay, cool.
Some of them were, I have to admit, were not my idea.
Okay.
But were formed out of a conversation I had with somebody else, because we always have these silly, ridiculous conversations at the school that I'm at.
Oh, okay.
And so one of those things was, if tomato is a fruit, ketchup should be called a jam. Do with that what you want. What do you think?
It makes sense.
But we've gotten in a habit of not calling it a jam.
Well, most people in the world don't understand that tomatoes are fruit either.
But we could help wake them up.
Yeah.
This is a new form of woke.
Zach and Dill's ketchup jam.
Yeah.
Or we call it tomato jam, right?
No, tomato jam.
Tomato jam?
And it's going to be right next to meat gum in the aisle.
Jam.
If we start our own store, we're going to have meat gum and we're going to have tomato jam. Also, another thought I had, not related in the least.
Okay.
I can't stand autocorrect.
Oh, yeah. I'm with you on that.
But I feel like if I get rid of autocorrect, my life would be worse. I honestly don't know. I feel like as an English teacher, I'm probably better at typing than a lot of people should be. And everybody LOLs and does short. I can't shorten things. It makes me mad to shorten things.
Yeah, I'm kind of that way too.
We're just old school like that.
Well,
I don't know.
Okay, my struggle with autocorrect is not because I type stuff out. I'm more lazy.
On a typewriter?
I'm more lazy and I try to do talk to text.
Okay.
And it really fails you on that.
Oh, I wonder why. Jumanju. Like, what do you mean? Why can't you do talking on texting? Shocking. I'm so shocked right now.
I mess up my own speech myself, but it makes it even worse.
I'll be there in 1 hour.
Maybe that's why I can't talk, because it's actually made me worse by using it.
I know that you've talked to text to me when I get a text. When I read it and I picture like the Geico caveman.
Yep.
I'm like, yep, that was talk
Actually,
to text.
and even when I type it out too, I do the same way. I realize I don't know how I became that way originally, but there is stuff like, instead of saying what are you doing, I always put what you doing. And every time I put it, I go, why do I always put that?
Why?
It's not autocorrect. That's me.
I've shortened it completely. I just said I don't shorten things, but I actually shortened it even more to my wife.
Yeah.
When I want to ask her what she's doing, because like I'll be at school and she's doing things at her work, and I'll just send her a text that says "doing."
That's good.
It's the laziest thing ever. I just doing a question mark.
I was thinking,
and she knows exactly, like she knows my BS.
What do I was thinking that, but what you doing is
what do is too
what
much.
Doing?
That's too much.
I know.
Doing. Because like I do kind of talk to my wife in just caveman grunts. After
that's
more
my favorite
than
one. Doing.
Yeah.
Question mark.
Doing. After like more than 15 years of marriage and all that, like we don't use actual conversations.
Food, just word, whatever word that has to do.
Pizza. Friday. Yeah.
But yes, typing autocorrect kind of sucks. But I agree. If I didn't have it,
yeah, I didn't even get to that. Like,
no, I agree with you. I just said mine's even worse because I don't even do that. I do talk to text, and I shouldn't do it. Shouldn't do that.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that wrinkle. Like, I don't do talk to text really.
Yeah.
But I don't know why I don't, because I don't like to go like 50,000 times with my giant thumbs.
Yeah.
Like this phone does not work with my look at it. You can see like my thumb. Imagine this thumb on this screen. Like this doesn't work for tall, big people.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Give me. I need like a jitterbug phone, like it's like this big, so that I can just be like do. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm tired of going fat finger, and then sending and realize that I don't know. I'm trying to think of an example of like what I would say that would be like not what I wanted to say. But of course, like the moment you try to come up with an example, you can't think of an example. But there's been moments when I say stupid things, and I get so irritated because it makes me look like an ignorant person. Like when I'm writing, and that's literally what I'm good at is English. So it just irritates me. Yeah. And the autocorrect is even worse. That's not even what we're talking about. Fat fingers are not even what I'm talking about.
It's just
I'm talking about when I type something correct. And it says, no, you didn't mean that. You meant this. And you like don't guess. Like Google guesses too.
Have you ever been writing and you put you, like Y-O-U?
Yeah.
And it puts I? It just switches it to I?
Yes.
Why does it do that?
Why?
That is not the same.
No, I mean like on the keyboard, it's next to it.
Yeah. But still, you wrote out
maybe
Y-O-U, and then all of a sudden it said maybe you meant I. Like,
you
no,
mean the actual word
yeah,
you? No, that's never happened to me.
Really?
If I put the letter U,
it'll throw. Okay, I get what you're saying.
And then it'll go, no, you meant I, and it'll change it. But that's not. You shouldn't do that. So many people shorten U to the letter U. Mm-hmm. You should just understand that that's okay.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm talking about if I said I'm going to go dig up a grave. Mm-hmm. Not a real text I've sent. I'm just making that up. Mm-hmm. And dig is a word. Mm-hmm. But it's like, no, you don't normally use the word dig. So I think you meant big.
Yeah.
So then I hit send like an idiot because I know I typed it right, but the autocorrect is like, but you meant this. And so it says, I'm going to go big a grave. And then it changes grave too, and it changes it into gravy.
Yeah.
I'm going to go big a gravy, and it thinks that that's fine. Like, why
That
would I
sounds
ever
horrible.
mean to say I am going to go big a gravy?
But it also says, yeah, that's a normal sentence.
That's normal.
Yeah, that's a normal sentence right there.
That's what you meant. I got you. Stupid autocorrect. Stop fixing my life. You're not doing a good job at all. I almost went full John C. Reilly there. You're not doing good. Stupid autocorrect. But that was a big gripe I had. Okay. I should keep going.
Yep.
I don't have that many. I
No, it's
had
fine.
these random thoughts that, and some of them were actual conversation. Like that was an actual conversation I had with somebody. This one was kind of profound that I saw somewhere. I don't remember where I saw it, but it made me think. Your first birthday is technically your second.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought that was, that's profound. That's probably on a bumper sticker somewhere. But it's interesting. Like, we call it your first birthday. Your birth, like when you're born is your first birthday.
Because when you're born, that's your first year on Earth.
And I get it. You're
Yeah.
not one. You know what I mean? Like when you're born, you're not 1 year old. But you can't call it your birthday, your first birthday, if it's actually your second.
Yeah.
I thought that was fun. That's a profound thing to acknowledge.
Yeah.
And
That's
if
a good one.
Taylor were here,
Yeah.
he might think that was like the communists trying to do something silly. Like that's the communists changing our culture so that we're dumber or something. But I don't think there's anything deep about that. Sorry, Tay, I'm just messing. The last one I had was this, just a stupid thing. I love word games and like the meanings of words and how in English is one of the only languages in the world where we take things that are literal, but we don't say the literal thing right. For example, nothing is on fire. Fire is on things. That's one of those things like we say, oh, that's on fire.
Mm-hmm.
But any other language, like if it was in Russian, German, Chinese, any other language, the vernacular is the fire is on that thing.
Mm-hmm.
But we're so lazy in English. We're literally just like, that's on fire. That toaster's fire on. Get like full Brian.
That is.
Isn't that funny? Like I sat there in class today, and I'm supposed to be teaching like a class.
Like the only way that would
and
work
I'm thinking about this
is if like I look over there and the fire's literally under the bookshelf. Then
the bookshelf
is on
fire.
That's
and then even when you say it, you're like, I'm a caveman.
Yeah.
But that's silly, right? That's we do all
what
the
makes
time.
it even more crazy is like saying the phrase "nothing is on fire."
Yeah,
doesn't mean there's not a fire there.
Yeah,
it means there could be a fire, but there's nothing on it.
There's nothing on fire. You sound like a petty person.
Yeah.
You know? It's not on
No.
fire.
Have you ever like what it reminds me of is you ever seen Arrested Development?
I haven't.
No. Okay, so there's a doctor.
I felt like I would go down the rabbit hole if I started watching it.
But there's the clips I've seen in the show. I've only watched a little bit of the show, but I started watching more clips because this doctor on there is literal. Okay. So like he says stuff like that,
like Drax,
and you don't, and they never know like what he's saying.
Yeah.
And you know that's what it says. He's like he's coming in and goes, he looks like he's dead.
Yeah,
but he's not. He just said that. The doctor literally comes up there and says, "Well, he looks like he's dead."
Yeah,
and then they have to go, "Wait, but is he dead?" No, he's fine. He just looks like he's dead. So he does stuff like that, and then to the point like
the word games.
Yeah, like he says that stuff. It's like he's. What he did this one, he's all right. It's like, oh, okay. It's like, oh, that's a much better reaction than I thought you would. You go, what? He lost his left arm. He's all right.
Wordplay.
Yeah. So that's what they do with this doctor.
Okay.
So that's what it reminded me of.
Wordplay. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I thought that you'd get a kick out of that.
Yeah, those were good.
I guess the only thing I had left, really, because we can kind of put a bow on this, but I saw the movie, and I want to get your take on this.
Uh-huh.
The movie "Am I Racist?" is out.
Oh, you watched it? You said
I haven't.
Okay.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
It looked intriguing to me. Like I don't know if I want to go spend money to go watch it or watch it later or just hear about it. But what are your thoughts on the movie and like the purpose of the movie?
I would assume, and
it's
I
like a
haven't-
Borat style movie.
Yeah, I would assume it's just basically. Isn't it from the same guy that goes, "What's a woman"?
Yeah, what is a woman?
Well,
It's
okay.
like the natural progression.
Yeah.
Of after that.
The thing about it is, and I'm sure it'll probably be a good movie, like to the aspect.
Good
of
in what way?
Just showing you like how, like I've seen plenty of things outside of that I feel like they'd be a good job of showing you how things are misinterpreted.
Yeah.
Misinterpreted.
Misinterpreted.
Yeah, misinterpreted and made into racist. That's not racist. Like that's why I feel like a lot of things today. I'm not saying that people can't be racist. I'm just saying that everything is not racist.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just
Well,
like
there's a lot of people making a lot of money off of telling you that you're racist.
yeah, and I get that, and that's what I'm saying. So I understand that. Here's my problem. This is the thing. Would I go watch this in a theater? Probably not. I wouldn't watch it. The reason is everything in the movie would be like, yeah, that makes sense, and just move on. If I was, if I didn't know anything or didn't understand what everybody was arguing about, it might be a good movie for if you don't understand what the culture's like.
Yeah.
That's where so like the one with, what was it? What is a woman?
What is a woman?
So like with that one, I wouldn't watch that, but I understand. I watched clip. I understand what they're saying because people are trying to make stuff that they're not for their agenda, and like you said, a lot of times it has to do with money.
Always.
So the thing with am I racist is like hopefully it points out the fact that like when you take a culture that is being at the end of the all the different oppression and stuff, but they're not really being oppressed. They could actually elevate very easily, but most society was, well, no, we have to keep them down, so we tell them that they're oppressed.
We have to keep you dependent on us.
And that's what I see. And I, like I said, I don't think it will be a bad movie. I just, with most stuff in politics or anything like that, it's stuff I've seen all the time. So I'm not sitting there going. My own thing is like I don't care to give money to something that's already out there. Not against anybody who made the movie or anything like that. It's just.
What do you mean like a movie that's already out there?
Not a movie out there. Information. Sorry.
Okay. Well, but what if you agreed with the cause?
No, agree with that's what I'm saying. I'm
because
not saying
it's not in every theater. It's in like 1,500 theaters around the country based on demand.
And
the more people that buy a ticket, the more theaters this gets into.
Which is fine, but I don't think it would be hard for people to see. You know what I mean?
No, but I think that the point I'm trying to make is will it make money? Like, will it make enough money to warrant more conservative films? Kind of like when you don't watch.
Is that the type?
Christian
Would that
movies.
Would that be a type of movie that like people would? The reason they don't have it in theater because people are protesting.
No, they won't have it in certain theaters if there's not enough demand for it. So they base that off of pre-sale tickets.
Okay.
Like if enough people are like, I'm gonna buy a ticket and bring this to this theater, and then they'll Regal will be like, oh well, there's like 4,000 pre-sale tickets in the Fort Wayne area. We're gonna put it in our theater.
Okay.
That's kind of
it's kind of one of those deals that I guess if it was the deal where it's like if I wanted say we wanted to bring it here in Decatur, and I felt
there's
like
no way.
Well, and I felt like everybody around here needs to see something like that to get the idea that like I feel like everybody's seen everything.
I don't think everyone around here needs to see it.
Well, that's no. I'm saying hypothetical.
Yeah, but
if they needed to, like say, like you said, for the cause.
Yeah.
If for a cause, yes. Because there's been other movies where people try to bring them in, like you said, like Christian movies and stuff that for people to see. And they've even showed it at their churches and stuff. And I said, that's great. If they want to show people and they get something from it, great. I'm not comparing it, but that's what I'm saying. It just depends on Do I think it would be? It could be educational for people to understand what's being, because it's not, the nice thing about those movies is they're not sitting there hiding anything. They're
Right.
trying to show you everything. They're trying to show you where I'm not trying to be racist, but look what happens when I do something. And first of all, the people that are calling you racist are like, it's not even the right people that should be calling you racist.
Right.
When it comes down to it, and that's the whole thing. I think honestly, if you want to watch it, I don't doubt that it will be a very interesting movie, because I can't.
He goes undercover
Yeah.
as a DEI agent,
Okay.
and he puts on like a fake wig.
Mm-hmm.
He goes full Borat,
Yeah.
and he makes a fool out of people. And the reason people don't like it, people being the powers that be,
Yeah.
they don't like it because Borat was making fun of middle class normal people.
Uh-huh.
This is making fun of high echelon, like rich people
Mm-hmm.
that are in the levers of power.
Oh yeah.
That's why they hate it,
Yeah.
and it's mocking them. Like you know that he got Matt Walsh is the guy that
Mhm.
did it.
Yeah.
You know he got what's the old anchor from CNN, Don Lemon. He got Don Lemon to like promote it inadvertently at
Mhm.
the DNC. Like stuff like that makes
Yeah.
me chuckle. I think that's so funny.
And the fact that he was walking around DNC dressed
Yeah.
up, that was funny.
Like I just think that's
That was
hilarious.
That's
like,
what's it. Him
for people that take this stuff so serious.
because that's the whole thing. He's
Life
not,
and death.
Especially him when he presents it. He's not trying to. Like that's the whole thing. I don't understand. I don't try to get into much because you just kind of go. I don't understand why people debate people if you have no idea what you're talking about. You just read articles or you think you know stuff. It's like, why do you debate other people who know all this education? So like when people talk against them, it's like you don't even know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
But why would? So it's kind of like, to your point. Yes, it would. I think honestly, it should be in multiple theaters because they would put other stuff in there.
Yeah.
That is less valuable. Well, what was the other one? The one was it a real biopic of Reagan?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
That's another one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like a Christian organization put that together.
Yeah. And then
it's
people
not a
didn't
major Hollywood movie
Yeah.
that like
exactly. So why? And then people didn't want it in the theaters, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. If I heard that right, okay.
But it made pretty good money for a low budget film that had Dennis Quaid and John Voight and like a bunch of big name, like old school actors that aren't afraid anymore to say we're conservative or at least we have conservative values.
Yeah.
We might be like old school liberal, old school, but they still have reason in their head. It's like, hey, we're kind of as a country going the wrong way,
Yeah.
So I think it's like Dennis Quaid. I mean, he's not alone in that he's like, I used to be a Democrat,
Mm-hmm.
but they've literally pushed the Overton window so far over here that I no longer feel like I fit in that club.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean, how you want to be a part of something well, it's kind of the way I've noticed with a lot of people lately when they start to go down a certain path. If you don't think the way I think, even if it's one thing off,
yeah,
you're not one of me. That doesn't make any sense. It's like that means you're never going to know when something's wrong.
Yeah, and I got to be honest. This is something that irritates me now. Like I used to lose sleep over like people that didn't agree with me.
Uh-huh.
It's like I think that's wisdom. I think
Yeah.
with the wisdom of me getting older, and the more I look at myself in the camera, I look like a older Vanilla Ice. All of a sudden, I don't know what happened to me. I look like old Vanilla Ice now. But the more I look at like people, I don't know why I care anymore. Like I don't know why I care what you think. If you think that, cool. Go think that. You're allowed to be wrong. I'm allowed to be wrong. Like, get off my lawn.
Well,
that sounds super crotchety, but
No.
it's true. Like,
well, the way
we used to love our privacy, and
Yeah.
we just don't anymore. Now we're like, well, no, I'm this. I think I'm a different gender. You should totally call me this. Like, no,
well,
I won't. I mean, unless we're friends,
yeah.
and then I'll be respectful to you. But don't like call on me to validate you just because you don't have a North Star.
Well, on that same, but that's how I look at when I look at somebody and I go, this is what I'm going behind, and I'm like, okay, well, why do you think this? They have no answer. There's not a really good answer
Because I heard it on CNN.
That's the thing the only thing that bugs me about people. You can go ahead and this is what you're standing for, but why are you doing it if you have no idea? Like you can sit there and tell me that you do, but in your back of your mind, why? Are you backing something you have no idea what it's for? You don't know anything about it. You don't really know anything. You're just doing it because of the crowd. That doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense to me that you would take another guy's information that you have no idea if it's true or not. Don't do any research and just go follow that.
Yeah.
And I understand.
Don't call yourself informed if you don't go and do that.
I don't like to I don't sit there and try to go back and forth with somebody if I have no idea. I'll tell them, I'll say, I really can't go back and forth with you because I don't really know very much about it. All I can tell you is I know this, and that's it. But I don't get mad because you feel this way about. I don't. There's probably a reason you do. I hope there's good reasoning behind. Even if I feel like what you believe in or what you're talking about is insane. If I can tell, at least it seems like you have a head on your shoulders that you're at least doing the research, and there might be a reason you like it's not just flat out all these people are doing it or all these people believe and all these people do this, and it's
I get what you're saying. I think I'm tired of trendy.
Yeah, I get it. But the thing that bothers me that goes hand in hand with that is those same people will look down on you like you don't like I've seen it so many different times where it says, wake up. And it's so funny because it's like, what do you want me to wake up and see? The stuff that's always been around that I already saw?
Yeah.
Like I saw somebody literally post on there, the government, this is what the government does when they say sugar-free. They put another chemical in there for the sweetness. Are you retarded? Did you really not know that? And why is that a new thing? Do you understand? I saw this. This is not something I'm making up. This is stuff I see and I go, wait a minute, wait. We already know this stuff. Why are you all of a sudden making that a part of your... I don't understand. It's already out there. Yes, there is stuff made because guess what? We're a country of fat people. We eat all kinds of stuff. And guess what you have to do? You have to create food so that we can all survive. So guess what? It's all like majority of stuff's fake, and you can sit there and go, "Oh, they're doing this stuff to you." But guess what you're doing as you're complaining? I'm eating this burger that I got from
You're
McDonald's.
making me hungry.
Well, yeah, I'm hungry. That's what I'm talking about too.
Okay.
But I'm saying it's like the thing that drives me insane is like this is not new information. So what scares me is all these people when they say, "I found out all this stuff." You're like, dude, where'd you go to school? Nowhere?
Okay.
Like,
that reminds me of, and I don't do TikTok all that much, but like I see videos that my wife sends me and things. And there's a video that I keep seeing, not just one video, but like a bunch of videos that are like that. Like people that like show stuff and they're like, did you know that this pan can actually flip it can flip a pancake? Did you know that? Like you just flip it and it lands on the other side. And like they think they're geniuses.
I know.
And they're like, I just figured this out.
But guess what? There are people that go,
yeah.
Holy cow, they're a genius.
For every person that thinks that they found something, there's like 10 people that are like, oh my God, my pan can flip things too.
That's my next thought when I see that. I go, I want to call this person stupid. But they might be a genius because they know there's going to be people who are like, wow.
Yeah, maybe they're just secretly smart.
How many people were born in caves? Like, I don't understand. What's going on? Like, this is real weird.
Did you know that the back of the hammer can actually take the nail out? I didn't know that. All right, I'm sorry. That's
No,
it.
no.
That's the only one I'm doing.
The thing is you're on point where when you see that stuff, okay, so this same person will also say something that's more serious, and you go, so I'm supposed to take you seriously after you told me about the pancake flipping,
Yeah.
right? So that's where I'm like, I'm not sitting, but to me, I don't look at that person and say they're dumb or anything. I want to, but I'm not sitting there saying, but I'm sitting there going, why is this like, I don't understand if you're getting up on a soapbox and saying all this stuff. Why are you saying everybody else is asleep when, by the way, they already know this stuff? Everybody already knows this stuff.
Well, it's the trendy thing to say. That's why.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like I don't. It makes me confused because when you want to learn, you want to give somebody the benefit of the doubt and kind of learn what they're talking about. But then they're saying stuff like that. It's like they'll say like the government's lying to us about this. The government has been lying to us forever.
Right.
What do you want?
Right. Welcome to the party.
This is also the thing. I'll try.
You gotta hurry.
If you're going to be on your soapbox and you say all this stuff, but the thing that nobody's doing anything. You know, that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Nobody's doing anything. They're talking. They're not changing anything.
Yeah, it's
They're
not
doing
action.
anything.
It's all
nobody's
just.
doing anything. Nobody's going free Palestine as they walk over there to help them.
Yeah.
Nobody's doing that. Nobody's doing anything to prove anything.
Okay.
So.
That was a giant soapbox.
Okay,
but
sorry about that. But
no, it was good.
The sugar thing is
you
what
just
set me
opened
off.
up a huge discussion for the future.
Yeah.
So thanks for sticking around with us. We had a blasty. We will see you next time.
All right.